Well, to get a bit more analysis on all of this now, I'm joined on the set by France 24's Doug Herbert. Doug, this is just the latest in a series of attacks we've seen from the U.S. President Donald Trump on the justice system in the States.
Yeah, nothing new under the sun in Donald Trump's behavior. Obviously, it's a rare rebuke coming from a Chief Justice. But as far as Donald Trump's concerned, over the past 2 years, there has been a series of withering attacks from this president against the judiciary and against the courts, attacks which have effectively, in many cases, in the popular imagination, degraded the courts, undermined the role of an independent judiciary in the U.S. system. The U.S. obviously being divided between three branches, which are supposed to be checking and balancing one another: the executive, the judicial, and the Congress, the legislative. In this case, we had Trump, then a candidate Trump, savaging a judge who was hearing a case about his Trump University and saying he cannot be fair because of his Mexican heritage. This was at a time when he was bashing Mexican migrants as rapists and murderers coming into the U.S. We had him also savaging a court who ruled against his anti-Muslim travel ban at one point, calling him a so-called judge. And we've had a number of these tracks. And alongside this, the timing comes just at the moment when there are also reports that Trump ordered, in another area of government, his White House counsel to go after Hillary Clinton and the former FBI director James Comey, basically to prosecute them. So there is an all-around pattern of Trump showing disdain and contempt, you might say, for judiciary, especially when he's losing. He doesn't like when judges rule against him, and he is tended to go after them by trying to politicize the judiciary in the imagination, by making people believe that these courts are against Trump or against him. It's once again playing to his base a little bit, or not a little bit, a lot of bit, at the expense of the court's integrity and ultimate independence.
So given all of that, what was it about this that made the Supreme Court justice break his silence?
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? Because, you know, in all these previous things that when Trump was attacking, going after the the judge who had the Mexican heritage, the judge in the anti-Muslim travel ban case, Chief Justice Roberts held his tongue. This was a George W. Bush nominee. One thing about him is he has always been fiercely defensive of the fact that courts should not be politicized. And as it was very clear to say in his response, that rare response to Donald Trump, that there aren't Obama judges, there aren't Trump judges, there aren't Bush judges, there aren't Clinton judges, there are independent judges all trying to do their job. And this is what he has been trying to stress. I think you're asking me why now, when in the past he hasn't said anything. He's been very reserved, and he sort of sat on the sidelines. Even when Neil Gorsuch, during his confirmation process to the Supreme Court, said that he believed Trump's attacks were dehumanizing or demoralizing, I believe was the word he used. Even then, Roberts didn't say anything. He sees Trump right now. I think he sees the Supreme Court right now as the next in the line of fire. Even though this particular Trump attack happened to be on a circuit judge, not on the highest court, on the Supreme Court has been effectively much more politicized, especially in the wake of the Brett Kavanaugh hearings. And I think that Chief Justice Roberts, who since Anthony Kennedy has announced his resignation, has really become the swing vote on the court, that crucial, pivotal voice. I think he saw it almost as his duty for once to break his silence and to protect the integrity and the independence of the Supreme Court. He doesn't want the Supreme Court to become a tool of Donald Trump's politicizing of the judiciary, being dragged in to Donald Trump's game playing and politicizing of judges, court decisions, so on and so forth. I think that's why he spoke out now. He looks around him, he sees Trump going after the FBI, after the Justice Department, undermining judges and courts. He said, if I'm ever going to speak up, this is the time to do it.
Doug, thanks for that. France 24's Doug Herbert.